An act of selflessness in the face of tragedy. Right now, an Altadena man who lost his family home in the Eaton fire is walking to the city of Paradise, which also experienced one of the worst fires in modern California history. Dmitry Kamperos began his trek from his former family home about a half hour ago, right after talking to Artina Patel live on CBS LA Mornings. Now, he plans to walk 700 miles to raise awareness and money for the victims of January's fire. He's been training for months, 4 months, for the so-called fire walk, which he says should take him about a month to complete.
Well, 9 months have passed since those devastating fires, and the road to recovery is much longer than that. I want people to remember Altadena as we're recovering, as we're rebuilding. I'm just one person, but I can put one step in front of the other and help get the word out as much as I can.
And that money will go to the Eaton Fire Collaborative, a coalition of more than 150 nonprofits and local agencies helping fire victims. So if you'd like to donate, head over to our website, cbsla.com, for that link.
Altadena resident Dmitry Kamperos is walking hundreds of miles, one step at a time, to turn heartbreak into hope. After losing his home in the Eaton fire, Kamperos set out on foot from Altadena to Paradise, another California town recovering from devastating wildfires. His goal is to raise money and awareness.
And Dmitry joins us live this morning. Thank you so much for being with us along your route. There you are. So first of all, where are you right now?
So I'm in Stockton, California.
Stockton.
Okay, so how long have you walked so far? Help us. I know the total is 700 miles.
Yeah, it's been, I want to say 2 weeks and a half, give or take. And I've got about 2.5 more weeks to go.
Okay.
Amazing.
I know. This is, I always find these types of things fascinating. There are always challenges along the way. I knew somebody who did, a cross-country walk, got bit by a rattlesnake. What have you encountered so far? What have been kind of the bumpy moments? And are you in a hotel bed right now? I'm kind of loving this.
I am in a hotel bed. I'm nice, comfy, cozy. I'm right near backpack.
Break time.
Love it.
I'm trying to beat the rain, so I'll be leaving fairly short, like a poncho for my backpack and a poncho for myself as well. But so far, the weather's been great.
Good.
And the number one thing that I've encountered so far has been incredible people, really kind people who pull over, ask how you're doing, offer some water, little bits of kindness here and there that just really make my day because they come from complete strangers.
I love that. And you lost your home in the Eaton fire. Of course, we talked to you, and you were with your mom before you started this journey. Talk about what that feels like, carrying this loss. You're doing this for other wildfire victims. What made you decide, for people who missed when we first talked to you, that this is what you wanted to do to help people?
Yeah, so there was a story, a documentary that I learned about a little old lady named Doris Haddock. Her nickname was Granny D. She walked all the way from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Took her over a year to do. And hearing the story of this little old lady just, I don't know, something sparked within me.
Our wildfire coverage tomorrow marks 7 years since the deadliest modern-day wildfire in California history tore through the town of Paradise.
86 people lost their lives during the Camp Fire, destroyed more than 90% of the buildings there and in the community of Concow. A faulty PG&E transmission line sparked the fire. Tomorrow, events will mark 7 years. And an Altadena man is walking from his hometown to Paradise to raise money for communities that the Eaton fire impacted.
The deadly fire in Southern California destroyed thousands of homes and killed more than a dozen people. KCRA3's Leanne Denyer caught up with him walking today and joins us live from the newsroom. That's a lot of miles, Leanne.
Yeah, and he said he's finding it really cathartic. We caught up with Dmitry Kamperos on his walk as he made his way through Elk Grove today, and he told us after months of just feeling stuck and powerless, he decided to walk from Altadena to Paradise to raise money for the Eaton Fire Collaborative. He lost his family home in the Eaton Fire and told us that he just really struggled in the months that followed. He remembers helping his parents grab some of those irreplaceable items like photo albums as they evacuated, fully expecting they would be back, but they didn't. So now he's walking to Paradise, hoping to learn from the people there about what comes next emotionally and in rebuilding community.
I'm really seeking just a wide range of thoughts and feelings and stories, because for us in Altadena, it hasn't even been 1 full year yet. We're still in the sort of disorientation kind of phase of things. It's difficult to know what the roadmap looks like. And so as much as we can learn from people in Paradise, granted there are different cities in terms of demographics and location and everything, but a similar spirit of loss and a similar spirit of renewal, certainly.
Anecdotally, he shared that his parents have really struggled with what to do next, whether to stay or leave Altadena following the fire. He said that they have decided to rebuild their home and then make a decision. He's on week 3 of his walk and hopes to reach paradise by mid-month.
All right, quite inspiring what he's doing. Leanne, thank you so much.
New at noon, Eaton fire survivor Demi Camperos has been on a 500-mile trek from Altadena to Paradise. He is currently walking the Skyway and is scheduled to arrive in Paradise early this afternoon. The 31-year-old lost his family home in the Eaton fire. In the aftermath, he struggled with post-trauma depression and weight gain, so he decided to fight the funk by walking his way northward to learn from our community and its 7 years of campfire recovery. Camperos left October 16th. He's covered roughly 20 miles a day. We'll bring you a full report on his arrival tonight at 4, 5, and 6.
Altadena resident Demi Camperos has just finished walking hundreds of miles, turning heartbreak into hope after losing his home in the Eaton fire. It really is. Camperos set out on foot from Altadena to Paradise, another California town recovering from devastating wildfires.
Dimitri just finished his walk and he joins us live this morning from Paradise. It's so good to see you.
Hey!
So good to see you guys again. Hello, good morning.
Congratulations.
Yes!
So we talked with
so
you.
much.
We've talked with you along this journey. What does it now mean for you to finally be in Paradise?
It is cathartic. You know, you spend so much time on the road. It took 33 days, in fact, and you're just on your own. You're by yourself, walking in solitude, and you get little phone calls here and there from Paradise and different people who are excited to link up. But for the most part, it's just you. And then you finally make it to town. You're just bombarded by love and joy from an entire group of people who are so excited to welcome you and talk about their stories. It's been overwhelming in the best way.
Wow. Okay, so what stands out for you throughout this journey? It's been a long one. Like, were there physical moments? I know we kept asking you, did your feet hurt? Was there a person you met along the way that really stood out? What's like the highlight reel?
Oh my gosh. I mean, one night I stayed with a retired dairy farmer, 70 years old. His grandfather started his cow industry. He retired and passed it on to his son. He took me in for the night, and in the next morning I got to see his 4,500 cows and just get a glimpse at it. You know, it's little stories like that that weren't on the bingo board at all. And I think if I can share one bit of like a lesson or anything to anybody out there, people are so good and so kind. You know, if you give them the chance, they are going to pull over, give you a water bottle, say, how are you doing? It really blew me away every single time it happened because I never expected it.
I'm so shocked in 2025, people are still just letting you in their house. What did you say to that man? How did you explain you needed somewhere to stay for the night?
Well, to be fair, I had met, it was with an app online. He's a cyclist, and I used a cycling app to sort of reach out to people in smaller towns that don't necessarily have hotels. So it wasn't like super spontaneous, but still, he did not have to show me his cows. He didn't have to show me anything fun like that. I think when you share this idea of walking many, many miles and many days to raise fire awareness, the first reaction you get is, oh, this guy's crazy. But then, like, once they kind of peel back the layers a little bit, it's like, oh, there's actually an interesting story of spirit there. And I think that's resonated with quite a few people.
Well, I think what you're saying, too, is what most of us want to believe, is that humanity is good, and that
So true.
Right? And I think we've all kind of put ourselves in these little buckets and siloed ourselves. So to do something like this and now have your faith in humanity restored, I'm very happy for you and that you're sharing that. But you are now in Paradise with a purpose. You're going to be meeting with people there. Who's on the agenda? How long do you plan to stay?
So the biggest thing today, from 9 to 11, there's a town hall meeting that the mayor set up, Mayor Crowder. There is going to be police department members and firefighters who were there 7 years ago, talking about their account of how things happened. And I'm just thrilled to be able to get a sense of those firsthand accounts from people who were truly there, and maybe even greet other people, other town members who may want to share their stories at this event. That's the biggest thing that I'm really looking forward to. And then all throughout the day, people, even yesterday when I arrived, people were just kind of whisking me from place to place. Oh, you've got to try this sandwich. You got to go here. There's this ice cream. And, I was so overwhelmed with just the sheer love and joy that people were emanating and radiating. I'm an extrovert by nature, but even I was like, just stunned by the reaction. And, I'm sure today will be kind of more of the same. I'll say this, my energy was very low, and like emotionally I was just like all over the place, but the spirit was through the roof. And I think if your spirit is up there, you can accomplish anything, even if your body is just super exhausted.
Oh, well, before we let you go, we want to know how the rebuilding process is going for you back in Altadena. I'd also imagine that this is like a positive distraction from all you've lost.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, my parents, who really lost the most in terms of my own family and relations, they had a house of 30 years. We'd always have Thanksgiving gatherings and big parties and things of that nature. They did get their permit approved, and they have locked in a blueprint. My mother has been kind of excited because she wants to make the old house a little better, right? You know, oh, I can finally change this, I can finally tweak that. You know, finding some way to sort of find this devastation to be a little bit of a silver lining has been incredible in terms of everybody's emotional health and well-being. And I think seeing that finally, like those little steps, a blueprint, you know, picking out windows and things like that, just they go such a long way in terms of healing from something as awful as this.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you're finding those moments and your people. And Dimitri, thank you so much for being with us this morning, and enjoy your time in paradise.
Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Good to see you.
We continue to follow the journey of Demi Camperos, the Eaton fire survivor who walked more than 500 miles to paradise. We were there as he arrived yesterday and today as he met with local leaders. Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa shows us what town staff shared about wildfire recovery.
Demi Camperos lost his childhood home to the Eaton fire back in January. In an effort to move forward, he walked hundreds of miles from his hometown of Altadena to paradise. And while he completed his 33-day trek yesterday, this morning Camperos took his next step towards recovery.
On an emotional level, I was overwhelmed because the quantity and quality of professionals that were here gathered, willing to share with me, just one person from a town so far away in terms of miles and proximity, but not far away in terms of spirit.
Listening to town staff share their experience rebuilding over the last 7 years since the Camp Fire devastated Paradise.
I think recovery is a lot about the community and the feeling in the community, much more so than the number of people that are there.
Staff members say in the wake of the Camp Fire, they relied on the advice of other fire survivors to find a path forward and wanted to pass on the favor to Camperos to bring back to his community as it begins to rebuild. Local leaders also discussed preventative fire safety measures to implement in the rebuild process and the challenges of making those practices the standard at the state level.
It takes the local initiative to get involved, the people themselves to get involved, to want to make change. We can preach it all day long, and I do. But until those local groups want change, it's really tough to get those communities in California that haven't experienced this on board.
After hearing words of wisdom from staff here today, Camperos says he's inspired to get started on helping his community as they embark on another long journey, the road to recovery.
The idea that Altadena can also have something as beautiful and cohesive and tight as Paradise, you know, motivates me. And so in whatever capacity that may look like, I want to do my part because all of us have a role to play.
In Paradise, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
Camperos says now that his pilgrimage to paradise is wrapping up, he looks forward to returning home and bringing the lessons learned with him.